Welcome back to the Poor Valley Princess Kitchen. I'm Beth Morgan, and today I'm going to be sharing with you one of my favorite Appalachian recipes that comes to mind in the spring of the year. That's because my birthday is coming up soon, and every year when I was young, my mamaw would make me a vinegar pie. Oh, I'm going to tear up just thinking about it. So I think about vinegar pie on my birthday. It is not a dessert that is very well loved by many in the world, but here in the Appalachian Mountains, vinegar pie was a staple. Why? I don't know. Maybe because vinegar and sugar were things that they had on hand and they could make a dessert for their families. I don't know why, but it is a favorite. So let's try it out today. Now, my mamaw Mary's home actually burnt down when I was in the 3rd grade, and she came to live with us. My parents added on some apartments to their house, and so my mamaw Mary lived with us, which made us have such a close, special relationship that I'm very thankful for today. And so my mamaw Mary would make a vinegar pie for me every year. My mother tried to write down exactly what the recipe was, and what she actually came up with was 2 different recipes. One was what we know as a regular pie, a vinegar pie, but the dessert that my mamaw made for me that she called vinegar pie is actually more of what we think of as a cobbler, and that's down below. Now I'm going to put this close, but you can't read it. My mother has horrible handwriting. Sorry, Mom. She's a lefty. I can read it. I will decipher this and type it and put it in the descriptions below. But we're going to actually make the one at the bottom here that is the cobbler. But like I said, my mamaw called this vinegar pie, and so that's what I'm calling it because she made it, she knows, right? All right, so let's get started today making my mamaw's vinegar pie. We are going to begin today by mixing up the liquid part of this dessert, which of course is going to start with our vinegar. Now this is white distilled vinegar, and you are going to use 1/4 of a cup or less. I actually have just a tiny bit less than a 1/4 cup of white distilled vinegar, and I'm going to pour that in my bowl now. So let's start with our vinegar, and then we're going to add in 1 stick of melted butter. This is regular salted butter melted. So we've got our vinegar and our butter. Now we're going to put in 1 cup of warm water. Does it have to be warm? I don't know. That's what the recipe says, so that's what we're going to do. 1 cup of warm water, and then 2 cups of sugar. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour in a little bit of this sugar at a time, and I'm going to whisk it until it just mixes in so well together. If you will put it all in at one time, it tends to clump up and makes it very difficult to stir. So just keep slowly pouring in the sugar, whisking it in. Oh, there you go. That's why we needed warm water. Helps incorporate the sugar. All right, go mamaw. Good idea. And so I'm just going to keep whisking in all that sugar until it is all nicely dissolved. And you're going to end up with a liquid that looks something like this. And this is ready. We can just put this liquid mixture to the side. We're going to let that sit. And I'm just going to get that whisk in a moment. Now let's get our dry ingredients together for this vinegar pie. We're going to start with 1 cup of self-rising flour, which I've already sifted and have in the bowl ready to go. To this, we're going to add 1 cup of sugar and stir that up. And let's add in 1 cup of milk. I'm using whole milk. You can use whatever you want, but I find that whole milk has a little bit more fat in it to help, I don't know, hold those ingredients together. I'm sure my Mama Mary probably used whole milk back in the day. And we're going to add in 1 stick of melted butter. Okay, now this is the super easy part. What we're going to do, once we have this mixed up, I have a pan ready to go here. I dropped some of my sugar in it when I dropped that whisk out. We are going to put, it's an 8 by 11.5 pan. I chose a smaller pan than the 9 by 13 pan because I want it to be a little thicker, but you could definitely use a 9 by 13 pan. We're going to pour this flour mixture into the pan first. Make sure we get all that in there. And then it's as simple as we're going to pour the vinegar mixture on top of our flour mixture. Now I'm going to give this another stir just to make sure all that sugar is stirred up. And we're just going to pour that on top. Now, we're going to pop this in the oven and bake it at 350 for 40 minutes. We'll see what it comes out. I smell the vinegar. Well, while the cobbler's baking, I will tell you this. I do have my hat on today in honor of my Mama Mary. She always loved when I wore hats, and we are coming up on Easter, so I've been digging out all my hats to see which one I'm going to wear for Easter this year. And I thought I would wear one today in the video in honor of her. She did love a hat. Well, the vinegar pie, which granted looks more like a cobbler, is finished. And I'm so excited to taste it and see if it is just like what my Mama Mary used to make me for my birthday. Now, I am so impatient. It has not even cooled off yet. But even still, I'm just going to get a little piece out of the corner. Here we go. You guys, just like my mama used to make me for my birthday. I hope that you will try to make this. It is so delicious. It really is. The vinegar and the sugar mixing together. It's really good. Okay, I'm going to finish off this plate, but it's been a pleasure filming this with you today. See you next time. I smell that vinegar.